Thank you very much indeed. Hello, I'm Alexander Armstrong, and welcome to Pointless, the quiz show where the lowest scorers are the biggest winners. Let's meet today's players. Couple number one.
Hi, I'm Ed, and this is my friend Alan. We've been friends together about 40 years.
Couple number two.
Hi, I'm Beth. This is my boyfriend Andy, and we're from Portsmouth.
Couple number three.
I'm Richard. This is my son Chris, and we're over from Northern Ireland.
And finally, couple number four.
Hi, I'm Susie. This is my friend Caroline, and we're both from London.
And these, ladies and gentlemen, are today's contestants. Thanks to all of you. We'll find out more about you throughout the show as it goes along. So that just leaves one more person for me to introduce, my right honourable friend, except he sits on my left and has absolutely no honour whatsoever. It's my pointless friend, it's Richard.
Hiya. Hi, everybody. Hiya. Afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
Are you well?
Yeah, very well, thank you. Yeah.
Good.
Looking forward to this show.
Oh, it's going to be great. Do you know what? I feel really chilled today. And I know why it is as well. Have you got any of those socks that have the days of the week written on them? Do you know those socks? They sell them now. It's literally just for men. So you always get a pair. I'm wearing Sunday socks. It's really, you know what? I've had such a lovely day because of it. You know what I really feel like you know what I fancy right now? A roast. That's what I like. I like a roast and then watch Country File. That's what I fancy. Honestly, absolutely, you should try it. Absolutely,
Yeah.
It would transform your day.
Yeah,
Sunday socks.
I'm wearing Tuesday pants. Just all a bit anxious, beginning of the week. But yeah, I'm going to relax into them. It's going to be fine. Yeah, but what a show! What a show!
Of course, yeah, I forgot about the show. Got two returning pairs, Andy and Beth, got all the way through to the head-to-head last time, didn't they? Did rather well. So
they did until the head-to-head.
Oh, they were terrible in the head-to-head.
Yeah.
But up to that point, you're amazing. So yeah, I guess the jury's out. You're saying?
Well, we'll see. They were very good up to that.
And Chris and Richard, we didn't see as much of as we'd like, and I suspect we might see a little bit more of them today. But it should be an absolute cracker, I think. Should be lots of fun. First round's one of those, yeah. Some people are going to do amazingly at round one. Some people are just going to try and scrape through, I think.
Look forward to it. All our questions on Pointless have been put to 100 people before the show. Our contestants need to find the obscure answers our 100 people didn't get. Now, of course, everyone's trying to find a pointless answer. That's an answer that none of our 100 people gave, and each time that happens, we add 250 quid to the jackpot. Now, Helen and Cassie didn't win the jackpot last time, so we add another £1,000 to that. So today's jackpot starts off at £2,000. Right, if everyone's ready, let's play Pointless. OK, in this first round, I'll take an answer from each of you, but there is to be no conferring. Whichever team has the highest score at the end of the round, of course, will be eliminated, so try and make sure that's not you. OK, our first category today is people in power. People in power. Ed thinks that's reasonable enough. OK. People in power. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, and the question concerns politicians who've held any of the following positions since 1990. Richard.
Yeah, in a moment, Zandra's going to show you a list of 6 political positions. We're looking for anyone who's held any of them from January 1990 right through to May 2012, please. So anyone who's held any of the following positions. Very, very best of luck. There's a lot to think about in this round. OK, so 6 positions will be put up on the board, and they'll remain on the board the whole way through the round, so up and down the line. And you just have to name any person who's held any one of those positions since 1990. And here is the board of positions. Chancellor of the Exchequer, Deputy Prime Minister, Foreign Secretary, Home Secretary, Leader of the Opposition, Speaker of the House of Commons. I'll read them one last time. Chancellor of the Exchequer, Deputy Prime Minister, Foreign Secretary, Home Secretary, Leader of the Opposition and Speaker of the House of Commons. There we are. 6 political positions. Now then, Ed, welcome to the show. Are you happy with this as a round, generally?
Yes, generally.
And where are you from, Ed?
Originally from Liverpool. I live just outside Liverpool now.
And what do you do?
I'm a retired HR manager.
Right, you are. What do you do in your spare time?
I work at Liverpool Cathedral. I'm a volunteer at Liverpool Cathedral 1 day a week. And I also play the guitar and sing in a band.
Very good. What kind of band is it?
A sort of 60s band, 60s covers band.
60s band. But 60s covers band from Liverpool? What on earth do you play?
Well, I know, it's difficult to think, isn't it? But,
yeah.
1 or 2 Beatles numbers, perhaps.
Oh, yes, guess you could play those, couldn't you?
And a few other Stones, the Kinks, the Who.
Very good. Now then, Ed, what are you going to go for?
Obviously, I know quite a few. I'm just thinking about the 1990 bit. So I'll probably play safe and go with John Prescott.
John Prescott, says Ed. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many of our 100 said it. It's right. $21 for John Prescott.
Deputy Prime Minister from 1997 all the way through to 2007. I don't think anyone's ever said, I'm going to go safe and play with John Prescott before.
Beth, welcome back.
Thank you.
Exemplary play throughout the last show. Then, yes, you came... Do you know what, actually, in the head-to-head round, it was only just because of where you were standing. I mean, by which I mean, you went first. And had you gone second, I think you might have gone through to the final. Yeah. Anyway, all that we'll put behind us. You're from Portsmouth.
Yes.
Remind us what you do.
I work in youth theatre and I also work in the dockyard.
Now, Beth, any person who's held one of these positions since 1990?
Yeah. Again, there's a few I can think of. I'm hoping it's the right answer, so I'm going to say William Hague.
William Hague. OK, let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many of our 100 said William Hague. It is right. $20 for William Hague.
Yes, he's had two of those jobs. He was Leader of the Opposition from 97 to 2001, and then, of course, Foreign Secretary.
Now then, Chris. Chris, welcome back to the show. Just tell us a little bit about what happened last time.
We got 200 the last time, so at least we're happy we remember the 200 club. Yeah. Something to go home with.
There we are. Now, how do you feel about this? I think you're going to be quite comfortable in this.
Yeah, not too bad. There's quite a number of names popping about in my head, but there was one I'm hoping not a lot of people remember, and he hopefully was Leader of the Opposition, and that's John Smith.
John Smith, says Chris. John Smith. Murmur of appreciation from our studio audience. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said John Smith. Absolutely right. $5 for John Smith. Best score of the past so far, Chris. Well done.
Good answer, Chris. He was Labour leader from 92 to 94, so Leader of the Opposition, the late John Smith.
Now, Caroline, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Where are you from?
Enfield.
Nice and local.
Very
nice and local. What do you do, Caroline?
I work for the NHS. I'm a communications manager.
And what do you like getting up to in your spare time?
Play hockey. Like gambling.
What, any particular kind of gambling?
Blackjack, mostly, but roulette, anything that will take my money.
Yeah, blackjack's a smart gamble, isn't it? That's smart gambling.
Yeah, that's like it's definitely for someone with a serious problem. Yeah,
that's right, absolutely.
That's what you go on to after the easy stuff. This is essentially a cry for help.
That's why I'm here today. Yeah. Cry for help.
I play blackjack. I love blackjack. Is that what that means?
Yeah, this is essentially a cry for help as well. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Okay. Good. Now, Caroline, how's your politics?
So. I work for the NHS, so I was hoping that the Health Secretary might appear on the board, but since it hasn't, I'm going to say Jack Straw.
Jack Straw, says Caroline. Jack Straw. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said Jack Straw. It's absolutely right. $13. Very well done. Good answer, good score.
Another good answer. People have done well, haven't they, in this round? Yeah, he was Home Secretary and then he was Foreign Secretary, Jack Straw. One of only 3 men to serve in the cabinet throughout Labour's rule. You'd twist on 13, wouldn't you?
Depends what the dealer has.
Yeah, it's really. Yeah. I mean, 13 is
5 or 6.
13 is a horrible hand in.
Horrible hand. If the dealer's got 5 or 6, yeah, you'd stick probably.
There you go. This is reassuring though, isn't it? Normally these are a car crash. These rounds, political rounds.
Yeah, I know, and everyone's done very well.
Everyone's done brilliantly. Really good answers. Lovely low scores throughout. Very good. No pressure on the guys who haven't yet answered, but I have high hopes. Well, we're halfway through the round. Let's take a look at the scores as they stand. 5, the best score there, Chris. Lovely low score with John Smith there. Then up to 13. Very well done, Caroline. Caroline and Susie looking pretty good on the back of that. Up to 20, where we find Beth and Andy. Then 21, Ed and Alan. I mean, I wouldn't say you're that far out in front there, Ed, but Alan, let's have a brilliant answer from you to make sure that you stay with us at the end of the round. Very best of luck. Nice, close scoring from all of you. We're going to come back down the line now. Can the second players please take their places at the podium? So we are looking, remember, for politicians who've held any one of these posts since 1990. And Susie, obviously, you're going to try and find the one you thought the fewest of our 100 people would know. Susie, what do you do?
I'm an international tax controller.
Now, that's fun. That's fun. So you're working... Actually, do you know, tell me what that actually means.
I work for a large international law firm, and I just make sure we're paying the right taxes in the right places at the right time. Quite right. A few more international tax specialists, and we wouldn't be in the mess we're in now. Exactly right.
No, I think when she's saying they're paying the correct amount of tax, I don't think she means what you would think. Is that right?
No, I don't get paid enough to be creative.
When you're not doing that, Susie, what do you do?
I used to play a lot of sport. I don't anymore because I've got bad knees, but I watch a lot of football.
Susie, brilliant low score from Caroline in that last pass. You're on 13. The high scorers on 21 are Alan and Ed, obviously. If you happen to score 7 or less, you'll avoid becoming the new high scorers, even if only temporarily.
Well, I feel I'd better go for a chancellor, seeing as I work in tax. I might try Alistair Darling.
Alistair Darling, says Susie. Alistair Darling, here is your red line. Below that, you're definitely in the next round. How many people said Alistair Darling? He's right. 12. 12 for Alistair Darling takes a total of 25.
Yeah, he's Chancellor from 2007 to 2010. You would hope that would see you through. He's another of the 3 people who was in every single Labour cabinet. Him, Jack Straw, and one other.
Thanks very much indeed. Now, Richard, welcome back to Pointless. Now, remind us what you're retired now, Richard.
Retired from the NHS, Andrew, yeah.
That's right. And what do you do with your time?
Play in a country band and play a wee bit of golf and just generally enjoy retirement now.
Very good indeed. And do you follow politics at all, Richard?
I was hoping to see like a Northern Ireland politician coming up there, but it didn't happen. He went for a John, so I'm going for a John as well. John Burskell.
John Burskell. OK, well, the high scorers on 25 are Susan and Caroline. You're going to say John Burskell. There's your red line. If you get below that red line, score 19 or less, you are definitely in the next round. Let's see if John Burskell's right, and if it is, let's see how many of our 100 people said it. Bad luck, Richard. The lowest score of the round so far from Chris, and I'm afraid the highest score of the round so far from you. That is an incorrect answer, scores you the maximum of 100 points. Takes your total up to 105. Sorry, Richard.
Yeah. Sorry, Richard, I'll go through all the correct answers at the end of the pass.
Now then, Andy.
Yep.
Andy, the high scorers are now Rich and Chris on 105. You're on 20, so 84 or less sees you through comfortably to the next round.
Yeah, I've got a couple going through my head. One of them, I think, is a well-known name, obviously, and I'm not sure if many people have said him, and I'm going to go for Tony Blair.
You're going to go for Tony Blair?
Yeah.
OK. Tony Blair, of course. Exactly. Most people would overlook Tony Blair, wouldn't they? One would imagine. Let's see, there is your red line. Tony Blair, is it right? And if it is, how many people said it? It is right, and you are through. 34. 34 takes your total up to 54.
Yeah, well done, Andy. He qualifies there, of course, because he was leader of the opposition before he was Prime Minister, 94 to 97.
Alan, now then, tell me a little bit. Before actually I ask Alan anything, Alan said to me before the show, he just said, in his Liverpudlian accent, he just said, I know where you live, so no funny stuff.
Did he really?
Yeah.
That's because I gave him your address.
Ah.
But you're not known for funny stuff, are you?
No.
You're thinking of Ben Miller.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's good.
He is. Oh, he's. Do you know what? That Death in Paradise he does is terrific. It's really good. It's like a weight has been lifted from him, seeing him on that show. But you know what? You realise the break that's been put on him for so many years.
Oh, that's the first time I've ever had sympathy. Oh, Richard.
I knew one day I'd push it too far. No, you're OK. Yeah, OK. but he is better. He is better.
Now then, Alan. Alan, what do you do, Alan?
I'm a retired civil servant.
Can I ask which bit of the civil service? If he says no, quickly. Oh, no.
Yeah, I think he can. I worked in the Charity Commission for 30-odd years.
Oh, that's good. I thought you were going to say weapons procurement. Because it could have been. Civil service, and it's usually people from the weapons procurement end of the spectrum that usually just say civil service. And then if I ask them what they did, they say, I'm not going to say any more.
And they're the ones who threaten you as well.
Yeah, no, they genuinely do know where I live as well. Now then, Alan, you're on 21. The high scorers are Richard and Chris on 105. 83 or less sees you comfortably through to the next round. I think you're going to be very good at this, Alan.
Quite possibly. I was going to say John Smith, funnily enough, in all honesty. But I'm going to say another Smith, Ian Duncan Smith.
Ian Duncan Smith. OK, Ian Duncan Smith. Here is your red line, nice and high. If you get below that with Ian Duncan Smith, you are through to the next round. How many people said Ian Duncan Smith? You are through. Still going down. Look at that, 6. Second lowest score of the round, Alan. Very well done. 27, your total.
Good answer, Alan. Yeah, he was the Tory leader of the opposition from 2001 to 2003. Let's take a look at some of the pointless answers on this. There's only 9, which is very impressive from 100. Bernard Weatherall, the Speaker, would have been a pointless answer. David Waddington, who was a Tory Home Secretary. Geoffrey Howe, who in the 90s was Deputy Prime Minister. He was other things before the 90s. Kenneth Baker as Home Secretary. Malcolm Rifkind, Foreign Secretary. Margaret Beckett was Foreign Secretary and Leader of the Opposition, briefly, acting Leader of the Opposition. Michael Heseltine was Deputy Prime Minister. Michael Martin was Speaker of the House of Commons, and Robin Cook was Foreign Secretary. Very well done if you said any of those at home. Let's take a look at the top 3, the ones that most of our 100 people said. Tony Blair, 34, was actually 3rd. David Cameron scored 40. Obviously, he was Leader of the Opposition before he came to power. And the 3rd person who was in every Labour cabinet, Gordon Brown, on 58 points.
Thanks very much indeed. So at the end of our first round, the pair who'll be heading home with their high score, I'm afraid it's Richard and Chris. 105. Again, not a terrible score.
It's going to be a long flight.
Oh, now, did we get to the root of Richard's answer? John Birksall.
Yeah, Richard, I couldn't accept John Birksall. It's another Speaker. We've seen Michael Martin and Bernard Weatherall there. The current Speaker is John Bercow, or John Bercow, certainly not John Birksall. Would have scored you 22 points. But
Richard and Chris, it's been lovely having you on the show. I'm so sorry we have to say goodbye to you so soon. It's far too soon. I'm really sorry. Lovely low score from you, Chris. Thanks so much for playing.
Thank you.
Brilliant. Lovely contestants, Richard and Chris. But for the 3 remaining pairs, it's now time for round 2. So only 3 pairs remain, and you've seen off one of our returning pairs. Only Andy and Beth of our returning pairs still here. Best of luck to all 3 pairs. Our category for round 2 is film characters. Film characters. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, and the question concerns movie villains. Movie villains, Richard.
On each pass, we're going to show you the names of 6 movie villains. You just need to tell us in which film they appeared, please, in the years shown. There's going to be 12 movie villains, 12 films to guess at home. Very best of luck. OK, so let's reveal our 6 movie villains, and here they are. We have got Annie Wilkes, 1990, Mark Lewis, 1960, Freddy Krueger, 1984, Pinhead, 1987, Michael Myers, 1978, and Early Grace, 1993. I'll read those all one final time. Annie Wilkes, 1990, Mark Lewis, 1960, Freddy Krueger, 1984, Pinhead, 1987, Michael Myers, 1978, and Early Grace, 1993. So, 6 villains, 6 possible movie titles. Alan, how do you feel about this board?
Not too bad. Not too bad as a film buff.
You didn't tell us you were a film buff.
Did I not?
You kept that light under a bushel there, Alan.
Sorry. Would you like an answer?
I'm going to say yes.
Right. Not a bad board. I will go for Annie Wilkes, because I watched this film quite recently, and I think it is Misery.
Misery, says Alan. Misery. Let's see if that's right for Annie Wilkes, and if it is, let's see how many people said Misery. Very well done indeed. Oh, it's a great answer. Look at that. 11, Alan. Very well done.
Another good answer, Alan. You're played by Kathy Bates. You won an Oscar for it.
Now then, Andy.
Yeah, it's not my specialty, really. So I think I'm going to go for probably the obvious one, Freddy Krueger and Nightmare on Elm Street.
Nightmare on Elm Street, says Andy, for Freddy Krueger. Let's see if that's right. Let's see how many people said Nightmare on Elm Street. He's right. 46. That could be a lot worse. 46 for Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, played by Robert Englund in all 7 of the original films and Freddy vs. Jason as well.
Now then, Susie, how do you feel about this board?
Probably Misery sums it up. That was going to be my answer, but I knew Freddy Krueger and I'm really struggling.
Do you want to just talk us through it? The board is all yours
I'd love
now,
to.
so why not? It just, I mean, it might help you. Do a little bit of thinking out loud, looking at the dates and things.
Yeah, well, Early Grace, I think it must be guessable because of the year, but I'm just not seeing it. Pinhead, I know it might be Hellboy, but that's probably wrong. I think just from the date, I might try Mark Lewis and Psycho.
Mark Lewis, Psycho. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people knew that answer. Psycho. No bad luck, Susie. I'm afraid Psycho an incorrect answer, which means you score the maximum of 100 points. Phew, say Andy and Beth under their breath. Richard.
Yeah, that's really tough luck. It's a very, very low scorer, that one. It's Peeping Tom, which is directed by Michael Powell of Powell and Pressburger fame. Would have scored 3 points, so it's a terrific answer. Pinhead, you're not a million miles away with Hellboy. It's Hellraiser.
Ah.
Would have scored 18. Michael Myers, similar sort of film. It's from Halloween. Would have scored you 27. And Early Grace sounds like you should be able to get it. It's actually a very, very low scorer. Brad Pitt played him in California. Would have scored 4 points. So quite a tough board there all round.
Thanks very much. Let's take a look at the scores. We're halfway through the round. 11, Alan. Very well done. Lovely low score from you there, setting you and Ed up nicely for the next pass. Then up to 46, where we find Andy and Beth. Pretty good. Then 100, I'm afraid, for Susie and Caroline. Who knows what the next board's going to be like, Caroline, but what we do know is you're going to have first dibs on it, so make sure you get a nice low score if you possibly can. And let's hope that's enough to keep you in the game. We're going to come back down the line now. Can the second players please take their places at the podium? OK, let's put 6 more film villains on the board, and here they come. We have got Jigsaw, 2004, Ghostface, 1996, Leatherface, 1974, Norman Bates, 1960, Buffalo Bill, 1991, and Martin Vanger, 2009. I'll read those all one last time. Jigsaw, 2004, Ghostface, 1996, Leatherface, 1974, Norman Bates, 1960, Buffalo Bill, 1991, Martin Vanger, 2009. Now, remember, we're looking for the films in which these villains appeared. And obviously, Caroline, you're going to try and find the one you think the fewest of our 100 people knew.
Yeah.
How's that board looking?
Not great. But I didn't know anyone on the other board either, so... in fact, I only know one of those, and it's probably going to be a very high score, but I'm going to go for Norman Bates and Psycho.
Norman Bates and Psycho again.
Let's hope it's right one time.
OK, well, no red line for you as you're the high scorers, but let's see if Psycho's right. Let's see how many people said it for Norman Bates. 71. 171, your total.
Yeah, it's not often the same answer scores 171 in the same round.
I'll tell you what's impressive, though. Susie got the right year. It's absolutely spot on.
Yeah, no, absolutely right. I mean, you couldn't... I mean, genuinely, I think that was a very, very unlucky round to be on the 3rd podium for. I think the ones you were left with, you did very well with. But, yeah, Psycho, Alfred Hitchcock's last ever black and white feature film.
Thank you very much. Now then, Beth.
I knew a few on the last board, but this one's...
They're both really tough, actually, to be
are.
honest. The good news is you're through to the next round. The high scorers, Caroline and Susie, on 171 are out of your reach, even if you score 100.
OK, well, in that case, I'm going to go with the only other one I know, Jigsaw and Saw.
Jigsaw and Saw, says Beth. Let's see if Saw's right for Jigsaw, and if it is, let's see how many people said it. No red line, you're already through. It's right. $21. Not bad at all. 67, your total.
Yes, in all 7 of those Saw films. They're horrible, the Saw films. Have you
seen them?
Oh, just don't.
Really? Oh, good.
Yeah.
Have you seen all of them?
No.
Oh, good.
No, I'm not an absolute idiot.
Well, no, I was going to say. Well, how do you know? Maybe Jigsaw's 2 through 7 are brilliant.
I wasn't sort of appalled at the first 6. I thought, you know, I'll just give 7 a go. I'll just see. You know, I was like that with Police Academy, and I quite liked 7.
Ed.
Again, not a good board for me. I'm not a great film buff, as Alan is.
Do you want to talk us through the board?
No.
You are.
The only one I'm going to have a stab at, purely educated guess, just because, obviously, I know the name. Buffalo Bill, Dancing with Wolves.
Buffalo Bill, Dancing with Wolves, says Ed. Alan shaking his head there, but it doesn't matter. You're through anyway. Even if you score 100, you still won't overtake Caroline and Susie. But let's see, Dancing with Wolves, is that right for Buffalo Bill? And if it is, how many people said it? No, Alan's right. Ed's wrong. I'm afraid an incorrect answer scores you 100 points, takes your total up to 111, but you're through anyway.
Yes, not to worry, Ed. It's a very horror-heavy round, this
one.
Isn't it? Alan, do you know Buffalo Bill?
Silence of the Lambs.
Silence of the Lambs, absolutely right. That's who they wanted Hannibal Lecter to catch, would have scored 16 points. And do you know any others of those ones?
Martin Vanger, Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
Yeah, Martin Vanger is a girl with a dragon tattoo. Absolutely, well played. 2 points, would have been a terrific answer. Ghostface or Leatherface?
No.
Again, we're in the horror genre. Ghostface's Scream, who scored 5, and Leatherface is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, would have scored 17. So the best answer on the board there is the girl with the dragon tattoo.
Do you know what I find that I've discovered? Maybe it's just as I get older. Second time I watch a horror film is when it really scares me. First time doesn't scare me at all.
Really?
Yeah. Psycho, second time I saw that was terrifying.
Got such an easy fix for you there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hang on, what is it?
Just don't watch it the second time.
Completely.
Yeah.
There we are. Thanks very much indeed. So at the end of our second round, I'm sorry to say, Caroline and Susie, you are our high scorers on 171, which means you will be leaving us. Good news, though, you'll be back again next time. Look forward to that very much indeed. Thanks very much for playing Meantime. Great contestants. Thank you. But for the remaining 2 pairs, it's now time for our head-to-head. Congratulations, Andy and Beth, Ed and Alan. You are 1 step closer to the final and a chance to play for our jackpot, which currently stands at £2,000. Now, we need to decide which pair is going to go through to the final, and to do that, you're now going to go head-to-head. The difference being now, of course, that you are allowed to confer. The first pair to win 2 questions will be playing for that jackpot. Best of luck to both pairs. Let's play the head-to-head. OK, here comes your first question, and it concerns famous towers. Famous towers, Richard.
We're going to show you 5 pictures now of famous towers. We need you to tell us by which name are they currently known. Very best of luck.
OK, let's reveal our 5 famous towers, and here they are. We've got A, B, C, D, and E. There we are. 5 famous towers. Andy and Beth, you've played best throughout the show so far, so you get to go first.
The CN Tower in Toronto. Yeah. B is...
Andy, being an architect, is that any advantage here?
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that. Well, I think I've got an idea on all of them. It's just the names of a couple of them, the exact names. I think I'm going to go for A and the CN Tower.
The CN Tower?
Yeah.
OK, the CN Tower. Ed and Alan, the rest of the board is yours. Talk us through.
OK. B is obviously the Leaning Tower of Pisa. C, I know that's in Kuala Lumpur, but I don't know what it's called. D is the Tower of London, and I'm not sure what E is, so we'll probably go for Leaning Tower of Pisa.
Leaning Tower of Pisa. OK, Leaning Tower of Pisa for B. So Andy and Beth said the CN Tower. Let's see if CN Tower is right for A. Just for fun, where is that?
Toronto.
Toronto. CN Tower in Toronto. Let's see if the CN Tower is right, and if it is, let's see how many of our 100 people said it. It's right. Oh, it's a great answer. 11. Very well done, Andy. Andy and Beth, 11 points there. Ed and Alan have gone for the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said it. It is right. 50. I think the CN Tower is going to be a tough one to beat there, but yeah, very well done, Andy and Beth. After one question, you're up 1-0.
Yeah, you really needed to remember the name of that tower in Kuala Lumpur. You're right, that's where it is. It's the Petronas Twin Towers. The Petronas Towers would have scored you 2 points. Would have been a terrific answer. D is the Tower of London. Scores a bit more than Pisa, but not that much more, 63. And the best answer on the board, if you've just been on holiday there, you might get it. It's in Lisbon, and it's the Belém Tower. And that would have scored 1 point, so very well done if you got that.
Thanks very much indeed, Richard. So here comes your second question. Ed and Alan, this is the one you have to win to stay in the game, but you get to answer it first. And it concerns Usain Bolt. Usain Bolt, Richard.
We're going to show you 5 clues now to facts about Usain Bolt. Can you give us the most obscure of these answers, please?
OK, let's reveal our 5 facts to Usain Bolt, and here they are. We have got his meteorological nickname, the country in which he was born, the record-breaking time included in the title of his autobiography, the number of Olympic gold medals he has won, including relays, and his training partner, who won silver in the 2012 Olympic 100-metre race. I'll read those all one last time. His meteorological nickname, the country in which he was born, the record-breaking time included in the title of his autobiography, the number of Olympic gold medals he's won, including relays, and his training partner, who won silver in the 2012 Olympic 100-metre race. There we are. 5 clues to facts about Usain Bolt.
I think the number of medals is probably 6.
Tough board. We're not really sure about a few of them. So I think we're going to go with his meteorological nickname, Lightning.
Lightning, say Ed and Alan. Lightning, the meteorological nickname for Usain Bolt. Andy and Beth.
Yeah, it's a tricky one as well. We were trying to think of his training partner who won silver.
Yeah, I can picture him, but I can't think of his name.
Yeah. Number of Olympic medals he's won. Can't remember whether he won 5 or 6. Obviously, we know country. But the record-breaking time, I think, was 9.58. So we'll go for
9.58, say Andy and Beth. 9.58, the record-breaking time. OK, Ed and Alan, you've gone for Lightning Bolt. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said Lightning Bolt. It's right. 27. 27. Now, Andy and Beth, if you're right, this is an excellent answer, but you have to be right. 9.58, you're going to say. Let's see if it is right, and if it is, let's see how many people said it. Fantastic, it's right. Look at that. Very well done indeed. 2. Very, very well done indeed, Andy and Beth. After 2 questions, you are straight through to the final 2-0.
Terrific head-to-head, Andy and Beth. Well done. Yeah, the full title of his autobiography is Usain Bolt, My Story, 9.58, being the world's fastest man.
Make your mind up. Come on.
Pick one of those, eh? I'll just go 9.58. That's the coolest, isn't it? Mm. I'd have said, let's take a look at the rest of these. I think both teams knew he was born in Jamaica. And that would have scored 56 points. Andy, if you had to choose between 5 or 6 gold medals, what would you have gone for?
6.
Yeah, 2 Olympics, 3 in each. He's got 6, absolutely right. That would have scored 10. And his training partner, he won silver in the Olympic 100, also won silver in the Olympic 200, Johan Blake.
Oh, that's it.
5 points that would have scored you, 5 points. But 9.58 is the best answer on the board.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. So our losing pair at the end of the head-to-head, I'm afraid, Ed and Alan. 2 perfectly good answers there. 2 quite tough categories, actually.
Yes.
Quite tough there. Did you know any of those other Usain Bolts or Jamaica, I imagine?
Well, on the first pass, I would have gone for the CN Tower as well, because I've been there. But obviously... but the other answers, you said 6, didn't you?
6
you
medals,
said 6, but it wouldn't have been
enough.
good enough anyway, would it? You know.
Well, a very exciting head-to-head, and the best news of all is we get to see you again next time, Ed and Alan. But meantime, thanks very much for playing.
Thank you.
Lovely contestants, Ed and Alan. But for Andy and Beth, it's now time for our pointless final. Congratulations, Andy and Beth. You've seen off all the competition and you've won our coveted pointless trophy. You now have a chance to win our pointless jackpot, and at the end of today's show, the jackpot stands at £2,000. Brilliant. I mean, really good answers. Now, head-to-head, two absolutely fantastic answers there. So, yeah, very, very well done. Anything you particularly like to see come up in this round?
Films.
So I can do a bit of work, maybe.
Films,
maybe
yeah.
some films.
OK.
Something like that.
Or football.
Actors, yes.
Films or football. Well, best of luck. To win that money, all you have to do is find a pointless answer. Firstly, you have to choose a category, and here are your 5 options. They are best-selling writers, the Paralympics, space travel, funky music, French politics.
We'll go home now, shall we? What are you feeling?
Space travel's guessable.
Yeah, so it's possibly funky music, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah? I think it might be.
Yeah, well...
Best-selling writers, though.
Yeah, but they're quite well known. French politics, I haven't got a clue. Paralympics, I don't really know many Paralympians.
Funky music, we can have a guess
Yeah,
at
funky
that.
music, I'm happy. Yep.
Yeah, we'll go funky music.
Funky music.
Yeah.
OK, let's find out what the question is. Here it comes. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many Jamiroquai UK top 40 singles as they could. Richard.
That category's been up there for a very long time.
Yeah.
We are looking for any top 40 single by the band Jamiroquai up to the beginning of 2013, please. So any Jamiroquai single that's been in the UK top 40 up to 2013 with double A-sided singles. Both tracks count as different answers. Good luck.
OK, you now have up to 1 minute to come up with 3 answers. All you need to win that £2,000 is for just one of those answers to be pointless. Are you ready? OK, let's put 60 seconds on the clock. There they are. Your time starts now.
Feels just like it should.
Yes, that's a good one. Virtual Insanity is really well known. That's the only one I can think of at the moment.
Space Cowboy, is that him? Deeper Underground, Godzilla.
Actually, he did do some. What did he do? He did do something Space Cowboy, didn't he? Deeper Underground.
Deeper Underground. Feels just like it should. Good. It's good.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good shout. I think that might be quite low.
Virtual Insanity, Space Cowboy.
I can think of. Is Space Cowboy him? I know Steve Miller did. Space Cowboy.
Virtual Insanity, Deeper Underground.
Yeah,
feels just like
I
it
think we should go with them.
Yeah.
That's all we can think of at the moment.
Deeper Underground.
What else did he do? What's the slower ones? Oh, I don't know. Can't think of any more.
Feels was the most recent one, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's his most recent, I think. Virtual Insanity will be his most well known.
Yeah, Deeper Underground.
10 seconds left.
That's all we've got.
So, feels just like it should. Space Cowboy, Deeper Underground.
Yeah, do you not want to go with Virtual Insanity?
No, everyone know it.
OK, then. All right, then.
OK, time is up. We were looking for Jamiroquai top 40 singles. I now need your 3 answers. What are you going to give me?
Feels just like it should.
Feels just like it should.
Deeper Underground.
Deeper Underground.
And we think maybe Space Cowboy?
Space Cowboy.
Yeah.
OK, of those 3, which is your best shot at a
probably Feels just like it should.
Feels just like it should, we put last. Yeah. What's your least likely?
Well, Space Cowboy, because we're not even sure if it's a song.
Space Cowboy. Yeah. OK, we'll put that first. OK, let's put those up on the board in that order, and here they are. We have got Space Cowboy, Deeper Underground, and Feels Just Like It Should. So we were looking for Jamiroquai UK top 40 singles. Your first answer, the one you thought was least likely to be pointless, was Space Cowboy. Now remember, only one of these answers has to be pointless for you to win that jackpot of £2,000. What would you do with £2,000?
Well, I'd spend it on shoes, and also maybe I'd love to get a dog, so I'd love to put it towards getting a pet.
That's not going to happen, is it?
I don't think I'll have a choice.
Ah, right, OK. So shoes and a dog. Andy,
Shoes and a dog.
anything you'd like? Maybe some chewing gum or something?
Just to make Beth happy would be good.
Yeah. Well done.
So we'll get 3 dogs.
Yeah.
3 dogs.
OK. OK, let's find out. Space Cowboy, is it right? If it is, how many people said it? Is it pointless? It's right. OK, well, you weren't sure if this was correct, but it is correct. It turns out if this goes all the way down to 0, you will be leaving here with £2,000 in your back pockets. 9. What a great answer. That's a great score. Sadly, we're only interested in pointless answers in this round, but still, 9, that's great.
Yeah.
And that was your first answer as well. This is all looking very good. So only 2 more chances to win today's jackpot. We were looking for Jamiroquai UK top 40 singles. Let's hope nobody said your next answer, Deeper Underground. Now, this was a film soundtrack.
Yep.
So maybe it might be quite well known, but then maybe people didn't know it was by Jamiroquai.
It's true.
I Has to be pointless, obviously, for you to win that jackpot of £2,000. So let's find out how many people said deeper underground. It's right. So Space Cowboy took us down to 9. Deeper underground, now taking us down through the 30s, through the 20s, into the teens, into single figures, still going down. Look at that, 5. This is brilliant. This is all going in the right direction. So we've gone from 9 down to 5. Again, obviously not a pointless answer, which means everything is now riding on your last answer, your third and final answer. We were looking for Jamiroquai, UK Top 40 singles. Your last answer was Feels Just Like It Should. Now, you were absolutely unanimous that this was your best answer.
Yeah, I think it's his most recent, so...
One of his.
But I don't think it was quite high. I don't think it charted high. It's like his comeback that sort of flopped and failed.
Oh, yeah, JK, if you're watching,
yeah,
he means relatively.
Make small records if you're watching.
OK, to win that jackpot of £2,000, obviously this has to be pointless, so let's find out. It feels just like it should. Is that right? Is it a pointless answer? It is right. So Space Cowboy took us down to 9. Deeper Underground took us down to 5. It feels just like it should, taking us down into single figures. If this goes all the way down to 0, you leave here with £2,000. Very well done. Very, very well done. Shoes and dogs.
Oh,
brilliant.
Thank you.
Shoes and dogs. Brilliant. Very well done. Congratulations. Superb. Feels just like it should was a pointless answer, which means you leave here not only with your trophies, but also with £2,000 between you. So very, very well done indeed.
I'll tell you, funky music has been on that jackpot board for a long time, hasn't it? And now it's gone forever. And gone with our blessing, and you £2,000 richer for it. Feels just like it should. Terrific answer. It wasn't actually their last hit. It was his last top 10 hit. It was number 8 in 2005, which I would say is very successful, JK, if you're watching, which I know you are. Let's take a look at some more of the pointless answers. See if people at home got some of these. Blow your mind as a pointless answer. Theirs feels just like it should. Half the Man also would have won the money. He teamed up with Jules Holland for I'm in the Mood for Love. Love Philosophy. Another more recent one, Runaway, was a pointless answer. 7 Days in Sunny June, Stillness in Time, and from 2010, White Knuckle Ride. There's a couple more. Too Young to Die, their first ever hit. That was another top 10 hit, was pointless. Do you know where you're coming from with M-Beat and Corner of the Earth and You Give Me Something? All of those are pointless answers. Very, very well played, guys. Been brilliant throughout the whole show and a lovely way to end it as well.
Thanks very much. Well, thanks once again to our winning players, Andy and Beth, who go away with today's jackpot of £2,000. Very well done. Join us next time when we'll be putting more obscure knowledge to the test on Pointless. Meanwhile, it's goodbye from Richard.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.